Hello, fellow followers. Welcome back to FanZcene. Greg here, and today I have you. It's not a trend; it's a physical media revival. So I found this article that I'm going to bring up here in a minute, and I thought this was a very fascinating article. It's essentially about these three stores in this local area and how they sell CDs, vinyl, DVDs, Blu-rays, and stuff, and how they've really seen a surge in their sales and how they're starting to thrive very well. But this article is mostly about like CDs and vinyls because they're more like those record stores. But I'm going to go ahead and bring this up and we're going to get into it. I'm not going to read the whole article here, but there's like certain sections of this article about these three stores, what these people that work in these stores and stuff, what they have to say about it. That's really what I want to hit on. So I'm not going to read the whole article, but I will put a link in the description down below so you guys can go read the whole article as well too. This comes to us from volume1.org. It says, it's not a trend, it's a revival. Physical media purveyors talk growing local scene. In the digital era, many are seeking real-world experiences and tangible moments, including through physical media. Story by McKenna Shearer, photos by Andrea Paulseth, which I have said that correctly. Yes, so this is what I'm really going to get into. And I love that. I love the picture there. That is a great picture. I love seeing all that stuff there. Let's scroll down here and it says, in an era seemingly dominated by streaming and social media, the resurgence in popularity of physical books, vinyl records, CDs, DVDs, and even cassette tapes may be surprising to some. All that is physical media, my friends. Bolstered by digital natives or those who experience the transition to digital everything while growing up, the return to physical media isn't just a flash in the pan trend, it's a genuine revival. I love hearing that as well too, because it sounds like, yes, this is what I've covered here a couple times as well too. It seems like the younger generation of people who've only ever experienced digital are finally finding their way to physical because maybe they watch TikTok or maybe they watch YouTube. Maybe some of them have possibly even seen my little itty bitty channel, my little bitty videos I do, and it's inspired them to go seek out physical media. And there's people who did go from physical media into the digital age and have decided, you know what, I kind of miss physical media. So that's starting to happen amongst people. This isn't happening amongst the masses, but it is starting to happen amongst a group of people. And I love hearing that. I love hearing that. And it says, while vinyl has widely been accepted back into the mainstream, it may take a bit more of a push to convince people of the legitimate return of CDs, DVDs, and Blu-ray, VHS tapes, and cassettes. But Chippewa Valley purveyors think we are already well on our way back to those mediums. I do think a lot of people are. Like I mentioned, I do think they are. And it says, the incredible immediacy of news, entertainment, and personal interconnectedness offered through social media and digital avenues is as much as a burden as it is near a miraculous innovation for some. Yeah, because, yeah, it's all there. It's all at our fingertips, but it's also like, it's messed us up. It's messed us up a lot. And from Reddit forums, which Reddit is one of those, I'm sorry, even if you're talking about social media, it's one of those things. Outlets like the New York Times and the Guardian, the observed resurgence in tangible media and in-person experiences isn't just a conversation. I love the fact that we're getting to the point where we want to be connected to people, right? So we've all started to live our lives online, and I'm guilty of that myself, but we all want to be connected. We want to find our place around real people in a real setting with tangible objects. That's what I love. That's, I think, why so many of us miss the video store. That's why I think so many of us miss so many things, and it feels like that's all been taken away from us, and now we're starting to wanting that again. And I love hearing that. I love hearing that. It says, though if money talks, a direct result of physical media's growing popularity can easily be observed through the world of musicians. Some artists are seeing an increase in sales thanks to the steady return to physical media. In a January 2025 article, BBC noted that both streaming subscriptions and vinyl sales shot up in 2024, with the vinyl market growing by 10.5% over the previous year. CDs, too, continue to bring in tens of millions of dollars, still outselling vinyl in terms of units, which is incredible because I did do a video here a year or so ago about the resurgence of CDs, because CDs are starting to come back as well big time, and they're still outselling vinyls. But yes, this is true. This is something that's really important about physical media, not just within the music industry, because with the streaming like Spotify and all that, these musicians don't get jack from streaming. Neither do artists, directors, actors from streaming on Netflix and Hulu and all them. They don't get jack. They all these artists and stuff always manage to get a back end through the physical media sales and what's on the physical media. And now that is being lost. That is something that's being lost, but it can be gained again through all this, which I'm love hearing this. And like I said, I'm not going to read the whole article, but I just wanted to read this first bit, and then I will get into the spots I want to hit and give you my thoughts. And it says, look to the streets of downtown Eau Claire, which I hope I said that right, for further local proof. Revival Records is a staple purveyor of vintage and new record CDs and more. Abraxas Wax, opening in 2023, signaled the growing area audience for vinyl and media. The Beyond, Y'all Claire's, which I probably butchering that. Latest physical media and oddity shop largely offers a mix of obscure and cult favorite VHS tapes. That's the three stores I was talking about. Now we're going to move on to some of the spots I want to hit, and I love that picture as well too. And this is where I want to go right here. It says, I chatted with Frank, shopper turned manager at Revival, about the growing interest from locals in physical media scene. His own affection for vinyl and DVD stemmed back to childhood after discovering his grandma's old stereo loaded with 8 tracks while she stocked John Denver's greatest hits and Glenn Miller. Frank is a lifelong Beach Boys fan and horror flick lover. Who isn't? Seriously, who isn't? The former inspired by the name of his son, Holland. Even if you can download, this is what I really want to get to, even if you can download everything, a whole library of music, you don't get the artwork or an album's linear notes, the little paragraphs written by the producers or artists, even the interviews and special features and commentaries on DVDs, he said, you miss all those things with streaming. 100%. You cannot get all that with streaming. It's the physical, tangible, it's the artwork, it's the notes, it's the special features, it's the sound quality, the picture quality. It just everything is better with a tangible physical copy of something you truly do love. And it says VHS tape recordings and DVDs act as a time capsule, proof of whatever era they were produced in. Frank recalled a tape recording of The Empire Strikes Back from 2006 live on TV from TNT or something. He said that features a Kia Soul commercial in all its 2000s glory. Without sounding kind of pretentious, it's almost kind of historical preservation, Frank said of physical media. A collector himself, he's in the process of putting each of his records in archival quality sleeves to ensure longevity. A similar method Revival Records takes for its own stock. That's what it is. I've talked about that before. It's almost like we are. Yeah, some people say you're not preserving anything. You guys are just stuck in your house. Whatever. It's to us who love physical media, who love these things. It does feel like we're preserving something, and I do find it funny because like I myself have bought some VHS tapes with like that were recorded off TV just to see what commercials were on, what people were like back then. It is this kind of like time capsule thing. And it's funny because now with streaming, everybody's complaining that you're paying for streaming services and you're getting commercials, but yet there are people out there who are buying these old VHS tapes to see the old commercials from like I would say more so like the 80s and 90s. I'm not really worried about commercials from 2006, which is funny. But it is funny, and it's something I love hearing that we are preserving physical media. So let's scroll down here. There was one more section I wanted to hit up before I finish out this article because it's a pretty good long article. And I think this is one I want to say. It says, I know it sounds pretentious, but I think there's this world of vinyl outside of the normal and the ordinary things you wouldn't see at Target, he said. I started this place to try to get people away from the norm, you know. I want people to get into something they've never heard before because there's so much out there. Yes, and that's how I feel. I know that's vinyl music, but that's how I feel here on my channel about physical media and B movies and horror movies and sci-fi movies and older comic book movies and drama movies and stuff. I'd like to talk about stuff that's outside of what everybody calls the masses. I also want to build this community up here of like the video store in person and then communicate in that way and show you guys stuff maybe you've never seen or heard of before. And that's what I also love about, that's what I love about physical media in all forms, books, CDs, vinyls, everything. There's so much you can find out there that's just not in Target or Walmart or other places. It's such good stuff. And I want to go right here, and this is where I want to go to close it out right here. And it says, as for why behind physical media's resurgence, perhaps no one answer is more correct than another at this point. Exactly. For Abraxas Wax owner Seth, it's a combination of escapism from the modern world and for the simple love of it all, which is very, very true. And it says, I mean, it's got to be that gap, right? He mused. Something is missing inside, and we're all trying to fill it. I mean, I'm assuming it's hard to say. I would blame a lot of it on the internet. Maybe it's like a big fu to a lot to a lot of control in the world. Mostly, I think it's about release. I think when people put an album on, a CD in their car, a tape in their cassette, or a Blu-ray or 4K or DVD into your player, I think it's just for that quick moment you maybe forgot about a lot of shit that's happening. He continued, I think it's just an escape. It's got to be. Is it for you, I asked? For sure, definitely. Whether media is a form of tangible escapism and a brick and mortar purveyor is a third space to find real world connection, or a simple hobbyist passion, these EU Claire business owners think physical media is here to stay. And I hope so. I hope it is too. I do hope it is too, and I'm going to end it there. But yes, I think physical media is here to stay. I think it's coming back. I think we can see that way. I know a lot of people say, "Well, what's the vinyls and CDs?" Yes, but it starts somewhere. It can start with vinyl, CDs, then move on to DVDs, VHS, and we see that with VHS and then Blu-rays and 4Ks. And I'm hoping that like more Blu-rays and DVDs and 4Ks get sold as time goes on, and people come back to those away from the rising prices of streaming and everything. But let me know what you guys thought about all this in the comment section down below. Are you all here for the physical media revival? What's some of the latest physical media things you have just recently bought? Let me know that in the comment section down below. And if you liked what you saw here, maybe consider hitting that like button or subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. That'd be awesome if I earn you guys' subscriptions, or possibly share the video out for everyone to see, or join and become a channel member, because that would help out my channel immensely. Thank you, and shout out to all my channel members. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys for being channel members here and for all of your support. To everybody watching, whether you like me, hated me, or like this video, or hated this video, I thank you for sticking this long wherever y'all are. Please have a great, safe, happy, healthy day, morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Always support physical media because it truly is the superior format now more than ever. Godspeed.